You've been waiting in the digital queue for hours. The loading bar crawls at an agonizing pace. Your heart pounds. Finally, you're in. You select 2 tickets to see your favorite artist. The face value says $50. But by the time you reach the checkout page, a bizarre avalanche of mysterious charges appears. Convenience fees, facility charges, order processing fees. Suddenly, your $100 purchase has ballooned to over $200. You blink in disbelief, and the timer expires. The tickets are gone. Seconds later, they reappear on a resale site for 5 times the price. You didn't just lose a fair race against other fans. You walked blindly into a rigged casino. Welcome to the $22 billion monopoly that has entirely swallowed the live music industry. You are not meant to win this game. The system was meticulously designed from the ground up to bleed your wallet dry. And for decades, one giant corporate entity has pulled every single string behind the curtain to ensure they always win. To understand exactly how we ended up in this inescapable nightmare, we have to look at the anatomy of a perfect corporate takeover. Before the 2000s, the live music industry had distinctly separated lanes of operation. Artists made the music, promoters booked the tours, independent venues hosted the shows, and ticketing companies sold the passes. Ticketmaster was already a heavy hitter, known for aggressively securing exclusive contracts with arenas. They revolutionized the industry by pioneering the kickback. Instead of charging a venue for their ticketing software, Ticketmaster paid the venue millions for the exclusive right to be their sole ticketer. How did they afford this? By passing the entire cost directly to you, disguised through confusing convenience fees. The venue looked innocent, the artist looked innocent, and Ticketmaster happily played the villain while quietly splitting those exorbitant fees with venues behind closed doors. But for this corporation, it wasn't enough to just control the tickets. They realized that true power required them to control the entire ecosystem. Enter Live Nation. Live Nation wasn't a ticketing company. They were the absolute biggest concert promoter on the planet. They managed the biggest artists, booked the largest stadium tours, and owned or operated hundreds of the most prominent venues. In 2010, these 2 massive giants decided to merge into one unstoppable entity. Consumer watchdogs screamed in protest. Anti-monopoly advocates warned the government that this would create an inescapable leviathan that would crush competition. But the merger was approved with a weak, easily manipulated promise that the new megacorp wouldn't retaliate against venues that chose a different ticketing platform. That promise was completely meaningless. The ultimate trap was set, and the heavy iron doors locked behind every single fan. Today, if an artist wants to go on a major tour, they are essentially forced to use Live Nation. Live Nation owns the promotion rights and marketing budgets. Live Nation owns or exclusively operates the amphitheaters and arenas. And because Live Nation owns those venues are contractually obligated to exclusively use Ticketmaster. It is a vertical monopoly. There is absolutely no alternative for a touring musician. If a pop star tries to use an independent ticketing company, Live Nation can simply block that artist from playing in almost any major arena. The artist is trapped, the venue is trapped, and you, the consumer, are left footing the bill. Let's break down the calculated mechanics of how they extract your hard-earned cash. First is the primary market illusion. You log on thinking you are competing for a stadium of empty seats, but the truth is deeply hidden. Often, a massive percentage of tickets are held back from the general public. They are secretly diverted to corporate pre-sales, expensive VIP packages, industry insiders, and dynamically priced platinum seating. What is actually left for the regular fan is a tiny fraction of the stadium, artificially driving up demand and inducing a state of absolute consumer panic. Then comes the sinister implementation of dynamic pricing. Ticketmaster introduced this controversial system to mimic airline models, claiming it helps artists capture true market value instead of letting scalpers take the profit. In reality, it means that if a massive surge of people want to see a show, the internal algorithm automatically skyrockets the face value of the ticket in real time. A standard seat can dramatically jump from $80 to $800 while you are trying to click checkout. They have successfully gamified human desperation, forcing split-second financial decisions out of pure fear of missing out. But the exploitation certainly doesn't stop at the initial point of sale. We must examine the dark underbelly of the secondary market. Years ago, Ticketmaster realized third-party scalpers were making billions reselling tickets. So, rather than stopping the scalpers, Ticketmaster built its own proprietary resale platform. This is where the monopoly reaches peak absurdity. Ticketmaster sells you the original ticket and charges a hefty processing fee. When a scalper, or just a desperate fan who can attend, resells that exact same ticket on Ticketmaster's platform, Ticketmaster charges the seller a percentage fee to list it, and then turns around and charges the brand new buyer a massive service fee to purchase it. They are double dipping on the exact same digital barcode. They actively benefit from the scalping market they publicly claim to fight against. Undercover investigations have caught Ticketmaster representatives pitching their proprietary inventory software to professional scalpers. They showed these scalpers how to use multiple accounts to bypass purchase limits and funnel inventory directly onto Ticketmaster's lucrative resale exchange. The higher the resale price goes, the higher Ticketmaster's percentage cut becomes. They have zero financial incentive to stop the bots, because every time a ticket changes hands, the monopoly gets paid all over again. You are fighting algorithms that the referee is secretly sponsoring. For decades, this ruthless machine operated with unchecked impunity. Artists who dared to speak out were financially punished. But corporate greed is a bottomless pit. And eventually, the system pushed the public entirely too far. Recent monumental fiascos involving massive pop stars and legacy rock bands were the defining earthquakes that completely shattered the illusion. Millions of dedicated fans were locked out of systems. Ticketing infrastructure crashed, and dynamically priced tickets hit thousands of dollars. The deafening public outrage finally woke up the politicians. The Department of Justice has now stepped in, launching massive antitrust lawsuits aimed at breaking up this $22 billion corporate behemoth. Unwinding a monopoly this deeply entrenched will inevitably take years of brutal legal warfare. Live Nation claims they do not set prices, deflecting blame onto artists and touring costs. They hide massive profits behind endless corporate jargon. But the undeniable truth is written in plain sight on every single receipt. The live music industry has been systematically reverse-engineered to turn the pure emotional experience of live music into an extreme, highly calculated, stress-inducing financial extraction event. Until this infrastructure is completely broken apart by federal law, until fair and open competition is successfully restored, the game will remain entirely rigged against you. You aren't paying for convenience anymore. You are paying an unavoidable ransom to the only entity holding the gates to the music you love.